Oh, hello, I'm Paul Douglas. Time signatures. You know those two numbers written one on top of the other that you see on musical notation? Things like 4/4 and 3/4 and 5/8 and 3/8 and 6/8 and 7/4, 3/2. What the hell does that all mean? In this video, we're going to find out. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Please click that subscribe button down there. It really does help me out. And you can click the bell notification icon as well if you want to be notified when I post a new video. The idea for this video actually came from a musician friend of mine. We were just chatting one day and he asked me, time signatures, those two numbers, what do they actually mean? Because I don't know. You know who you are. Thank you for this video idea. So time signatures are not difficult. It's just if no one's ever explained it to you, then you're not going to understand them. Let's start by having a look at a time signature. We have two numbers, a number at the top and a number at the bottom. Let's take probably the most common time signature, which is 4/4. Have a number 4 at the top and a number 4 at the bottom. To explain time signatures, what we're going to do for now, we're going to completely ignore the bottom number. We don't care about the bottom number. We're only going to consider the top number. In this case, we have a 4. What does that 4 mean? Now, I'm going to have to put my coffee down because I'm going to have to clap. Now, that 4 simply means how many beats are in a bar, in a measure. That's it. That is all it means. Most pop music and rock music these days is in 4/4. Not all, but the vast majority of it is. And it simply means that every bar you're going to be able to count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. It means nothing more and nothing less than that. If you listen to most modern pop and rock music, if you listen to the drums, you can get a sense of those 4 beats, because usually on beat number 1 you will have the bass drum, on beat number 3 you will have 1, 2, 3, yeah, the snare drum. Not always, but very often. So you will very often hear a beat like this. Boom, doof, boom, doof, boom, doof. In addition, again, quite often, not always, but often, you will hear the hi-hat on every beat. So the hi-hat will be going 1, 2, 3, 4. So tss, 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 tss. So if we put that into a few bars of 4/4, you get this. And I've just demonstrated I am the world's worst beatboxer. And that is a bar, several bars of 4/4 time. It is as simple as that. All that top number means how many beats am I going to count when I play this song, this piece of music. Let's pick a different time signature. So let's pick 3/4. And again, we're going to completely ignore the number on the bottom for now. We don't care about it. So we're just going to say this one is in 3 time. This time, if we count while we play along to the music, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Many of you will probably recognise that as a waltz. Waltzes are in 3 time. Cha cha, cha cha, cha cha, cha cha. Those principles, the number of beats in the bar, that applies to every single time signature. So if we had, say, 2/4, then we'd be counting 1, 2, 1, 2 in every single bar. If we were in 5/4, we'd be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you had a time signature that said 37/4, then you'd be counting 37. Quite what idiot would write anything in 37/4? I have no idea, but it illustrates the point I'm trying to make here. Top number is quite simply the number that you're going to be counting as you play along to the music. Now, something that my musician friend who asked me about this when we were discussing time signatures said to me, and I think it's a very good point. If you are playing in a particular time signature, the music does not have to have a continued repeating beat in it. As it happens, most modern pop music does, because you've got that, beat in the background, but certainly in a lot of classical music, and indeed you can find lots of examples in more modern music as well, where you'll be in 4-time, but there's nothing in the music that's going 1, 2, 3, 4. You might just have a sustained note. So you might have something like da, 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 da. It's still in 4-time, even though nothing is going 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what, in classical music, in say an orchestra, a conductor is doing. The conductor is giving you that number, that 4, or that 3, or that 2, or that 6. So when you see an orchestra and the conductor is waving his arms about, he's not just waving his arms about willy-nilly, pointing at people to do something, illustrate when things should be loud or soft. He's doing that as well. But the basic function of a conductor is to give you that number, that 4. And what he does with his hands depends on what that top number of the time signature is. So the standard way he would show you 4-time, if you look at a conductor, is he will do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all the members of the orchestra will be looking at him and saying, okay, I know where the beat is. So if I've got a sustained note that lasts a full bar, I know on there, that's where I start playing the note. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And at the end of there, I know that's where I stop playing that sustained note. Similarly, if you're in 3-time, what the conductor will do, he will give you the beat like this. He will give you 1, 2, 3. Make that sort of triangle shape. 1, 2, 3. In 2-time, he would simply go 1, 2. And this is how a conductor is so important, because he is responsible for keeping the orchestra in time, for everybody playing at the same time. And if that indication of the beat is not there, it'll just sound like a god-awful mess. So just to recap, time signatures. Top number, bottom number. We've ignored the bottom number for now. Top number simply says how many beats are there in a bar, in a measure. And when you're playing along with that song, that is what you will be counting. Now we're going to have to take a look at the bottom number now. This isn't quite as easy to explain because it's not as well defined. And to be honest, if you're playing in a rock, pop, blues band, don't think you really need to even think about that bottom number at all. The top number is the important one, but we need to talk about the bottom number anyway. So we've got the top number saying how many beats are in the bar. The bottom number says how long each of those beats are. If you have 4 4-time, what's that saying is the 4 means a quarter note. I'm hoping we all know what a quarter note is. You know, if I was to play a whole note, if I just sing a note, imagine I'd go, if I then did half notes in the same, filling the same amount of time, I'd go, if I did quarter notes, it'd be, if I did eighth notes, it'd be, and I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to sing the 16th notes. So back to the time signature, 4/4, it says we have 4 beats, and each one of those beats is a quarter note. Similarly, 3/4, we have 3 beats, each one of those beats is a quarter note. Now, say we had 3/8, what we've got there is 3 beats in the bar, we know that already. The 8 means eighth notes, so we've got 3 eighth notes in the bar. Now, what does this actually mean in practice? Well, not a lot. It's open to interpretation, but in practice, if you have 3/4 and 3/8, all that probably means is the music that's in 3/8 is probably going to be a little bit faster than the music in 3/4. Probably. Not always, and you don't know, someone may interpret these time signatures differently. It varies from musician to musician. a typical 3/4 might be bum dum dum bum dum dum, and a 3/8 might be bum dum dum bum dum dum bum dum dum bum dum dum. So I've played in lots of different musical situations. I've played in classical orchestras. I've played in rock bands, pop bands. In the band situation, I don't think I've ever even considered that bottom number of the time signature, ever, over a period of 30-something years. It's just not important in that musical situation. In a situation like an orchestra where you're actually reading musical notation, it is important, because when you're reading across the manuscript, it tells you how many notes are in that bar. But when you're just playing in a rock band and you're not playing from music, it doesn't matter. The important one is that top number of the time signature, which is very, very important. So it tells you how many beats are in the bar, and therefore, when you're playing along to the music, what you should be counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. I hope you found this discussion of time signatures useful. It's obviously a very, very important area of music. Rhythm in general, when people talk about music theory, they tend to talk about scales and keys and chords and modes and chord inversions and voicings and, lots of stuff like that. And rhythm almost, if not forgotten, it tends to take a bit of a back seat. But, all music, all Western music and, most music around the world is very, very rhythmical. So it's hugely important. And time signatures are simply a way of indicating the rhythm of the piece, basically saying, how many beats do you have in every bar? So what number should I be counting to? Thanks very much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Please feel free to like this video and share it on your social media, your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Please click that subscribe button down there. It really does help me out. And you can click the bell notification icon as well if you want to be notified when I post a new video. Once again, thanks very much for watching. I've been Paul Douglas, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.